Hey guys, Blue State Conservative here, coming to you from Portland, Oregon. Well, as I mentioned yesterday, there has been a lot of activity in the state of Oregon over the past 48 hours. It all started on New Year's Eve when Antifa declared a night of destruction. They met at 8 p.m. Approximately 100 Antifa members went around downtown Portland, destroying businesses, setting fires. Once a riot was declared and there was a heavy police presence, Antifa started throwing bricks, large rocks, frozen water bottles, paint balloons, Molotov cocktails, all thrown at the police along with other random objects. Thankfully, no police officers were injured. I'm sure they are all just sick and tired of these idiots running around acting a fool. Only 3 arrests were made with all that violence. Well, moving on to a little bit later on the north side of Portland, 2 black men who are believed to be teenagers, I believe they're both 18 years old, that did not have any gang affiliation, just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and gang members did roll up on them and shot them point blank. One died on scene and the other was shot 8 times and is currently fighting for his life. Gang violence in Portland, Oregon has tripled from 2019 to 2020. It is getting up there with the rates of the early 90s when gang activity in Portland was very prevalent. Moving on to the Patriots gathering in Salem, Oregon on New Year's Day. They are protesting. Governor Brown has overstepped her authority and has shut down the state of Oregon with some of the strictest COVID restrictions, despite Oregon having some of the lowest COVID case and death numbers. They want Oregon opened back up. There are so many people struggling financially, mentally, physically. We need the state opened back up. Well, they marched from the Capitol building to Brown's mansion, the governor's mansion, and they were met with a heavy police presence in front of the mansion. From what I gathered, there was only a verbal altercation with police at the governor's mansion. They did then march downtown Salem, and then there was more of an altercation there with police. And from what I did gather, a patriots sprayed police officers with some type of mace or bear spray, and a few arrests were made. I don't like that police officers are being put in the position where they have to choose, but unfortunately you have to. You have to know what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. So guarding the governor's mansion, okay. I don't really think that there was something that they could have done, but it's how they handle the exchange. That's the big difference right there, is how it's handled. The riot, I talk about earlier, Antifa, they had 100 people there, mass destruction, and only 3 arrests made. So my concern is then you look at the Patriots and 2 arrests made from what I gathered, and it was a very much smaller group. 0 destruction, just looks like 1 exchange with law enforcement. So it's like, what's happening here? It just really shows where the leadership is, who they're protecting and who they're absolutely not protecting. So that's disheartening to me. And that's where, like, I keep calling on law enforcement. Know where your hard stop is. Know where you're going to say no, even if you're directed to do something by leadership. So that said, I just read on the news that a man who actually, this is right before Christmas, a man stole a jacked up pickup truck, rammed it into a police cruiser, and a female police officer who had been on the job for 15 years was injured. I believe she broke her pelvis. He's been in police custody, and he just escaped from custody this evening at 5:30. So somebody's in trouble.